Hi guys, it's Looch. I watched a documentary about the Rainbow Room, the Sunset Strip in LA, but focusing on the Rainbow Room and the Whisky a Go-Go and the history of that and how it started in the 60s and how it was inspired by a club in England with the go-go dancers in cages, and how every band like the Doors and everybody Zeppelin played at this tiny 200-person capacity club that had food. It was a restaurant before it was a nightclub. And the red booths and Mario, the owner. Amazing. All the interviews with him. It's a family business, if you know what I mean. Okay. So he's passed it down to his son and then to his grandson. They go through the whole period of when they were giving bands a start, and bands like Van Halen, it's hard to even imagine bands like that playing in a club setting. Bands like Van Halen, bands like Metallica.
It was the place to be.
You'd see everybody there.
Slash, Ozzy, Lemmy, John Bonham,
Motley Crue, Keith Moon,
Van Halen, remember Jimmy Page,
Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix.
And then also, the hair metal that took over basically the entire Sunset Strip. Whether there was a lot of content in that, that's just a personal feeling. But it was part of music, let's face it. It was huge. And there were lines around the block to see Poison. And the owner, Mario, talks about how the only person he ever kicked out of the club was Charles Manson. So that it was lax. That's basically, I think, what that means to say.
I used to get away with murder in there.
I said, do what the you want, I don't care.
It was Bacchanalia.
It was exactly how you picture it, times 10.
It's really fascinating to see all the memorabilia. They were, I'm sure, the original inspiration for the Hard Rock Cafe, the dirty, filthy Hard Rock Cafe. There was a club, a VIP club that was like Mickey Dolenz and Keith Moon, Alice Cooper, and Gene Simmons, again, for some reason, popping up in another documentary with his hair.
It was different then.
There was a culture, the likes of which will not happen again.
But it's really interesting, and it's really cool to see that it was a family business and that it remained a family business. It's still open, of course. And then, of course, Lemmy, because Lemmy of Motorhead made it his home. Basically, he lived half a block away and basically sat at that bar and played the video game on the corner. Nobody bugged him because people were cool like that.
The history of rock and roll is in here.
It's very interesting, the Rainbow and the whole history of the Sunset Strip.